Welcome to Durban. We are here at the Cambridge Nedbank Daily COPpuccino, our exploration of the marketplace of ideas, which is this COP17. Why are you both here at COP17?
The last two COPs, I've been representing the Cambridge Programme for Sustainability Leadership, and it's been a great pleasure actually coming, because I've come with a group of CEOs from all over the world, which we work with at the Cambridge Programme to try to bring forward the voice of progressive business and indicate to negotiators at the COPs that we still believe it's absolutely essential to have an international framework deal on climate change.
For my part, it's my first COP, and at the moment I'm hoping it's my last.
I'm hearing you're quite pessimistic about the possibility of getting the Green Climate Fund up, running and funded.
I am slightly pessimistic, unfortunately. I mean, I tend to be an optimistic person, but we've been running around this issue for quite some time.
And do you bring that pessimism with you from Brussels, or is that something you're picking up in the corridors in Brussels, that there's simply not the money or the will to get behind this right now, or is that something you're picking up here? I
think I'm picking it up everywhere I go. I think that the European Commission still wants to be a leader. The European Union still wants to be a leader. And it is struggling to keep on that leadership. It's being, first of all, held accountable for the fact that no one else is following. And that's hard when no one else is following for a long period of time.
How about you, Peter? What struck you in the last 24 hours at the COP?
There really is these two worlds, and I'm going to use some examples from the one world to speak about the other. There was one young man at the presentation that I gave on this website, and towards the end he asked, so how will this website help me make money? And I think what that does reflect is some of the finance debate. A lot of people are sitting around the table saying, you know, we're protecting our own money. We don't want to give you some of our money. The others saying, we don't have money, we want your money. And in the end, we're all going to lose money unless we pull together and be able to do something about this.
It's this dichotomy between the national interest and right down to the individual self-interest, which is a sort of fearful, holding back kind of response, and the dawning recognition that this is a global, humanity-wide problem that requires us to lower some of those walls and work together. Are you, either of you, picking up any sense of that shift gaining momentum? Because without that shift, it seems the COP is, or the whole process of negotiating around climate change is wasted.
I do see an optimism in the sense that, first of all, there are individuals who are becoming champions. I've just been over here working with a large South African energy company that's often quite criticized for its lack of change and its holding on to dinosaur energy. And yet I've been heartened by some of the people in that organization who very much want to transition away from coal, who want to lead South Africa to a brighter low-carbon future. They have internal struggles every day to try to convince their colleagues, as well as external struggles to try to convince their communities and others that this is the right way forward.
So you're finding hope and some possibilities of leadership within the corporate sector, which is obviously where you're working most. You have much more of a focus on government policy making and regulation and so on, Peet. What's the picture you're picking up there?
I feel whether it's individual companies or governments moving ahead, they are both moving ahead, often in the absence of this global agreement. Governments are continuing a pace. In South Africa, that pace has picked up significantly, partly because the eyes of the world have been turned on us. But we have made more progress in 2011 with regards to renewable energy in particular than in any of the years before. There's a fantastic interest from the private sector in investing based on the framework that governments put in place. And I think the reality is that go and construct any index based on the sustainability of companies, and that index will outperform the market. You see it time after time. Nedbank's just recently done it and found the same thing, that the green companies are the ones making more money than the others. And that's coming to a point for governments as well. So it's starting to become a money issue that the reason that we should move ahead is because of the money, and ironically the reason that we refuse to move ahead is because of the money.
Yeah. I fully agree. And I think that we need to monetize the vision, unfortunately. Because of the way in which we are struggling with the recession, we're forced to do so. But I think there's a way that we can create that vision by monetizing it. We can clearly start to show the benefits from a business perspective in terms of investing in low carbon technology. And through our work, we've been able to show countless stories of companies, both companies who either were in black energy, so coal energy, that have completely switched in the last 10 years, such as Dong Energy in Denmark, from black to green energy and are making a profit, as well as companies that have come out with new products. So we're not just talking about those companies that clearly could seize the opportunity and aren't struggling. We're talking about some that were so-called dinosaur industries that, because of leadership, both bottom up and top down, were able to start to move towards something that made more sense for their value structure as leaders, but also in terms of the money.
And create jobs, by the way. It's
Absolutely.
very interesting that the South African labour unions are very active around all of these negotiations. There's a big 1 million climate jobs campaign. So there's stakeholders that can see their interest from so many perspectives. In politics, even in South Africa, it's one of the few things, green energy, for example, is one of the few things that every political party agrees on. There's no debate in Parliament about it because they all agree on it.
You're both now talking in such an animated and optimistic way that I'm sure you'll be back for COP after COP after COP. It's been lovely talking with you.
Count me out.
I'll be in.
Thank you.
Thank you.